Hello and welcome everyone. The humble hamburger is a summer staple in Canada. Mostly as an excuse to cook with fire, I'm sure, but it's hard to beat a nice freshly made burger with a homemade patty at its core. Many people pride themselves on their burger patty recipe, but then they pair these delicious perfect patties with supermarket buns. No more, I say. Cast aside those supermarket tragedies and join me in baking buttery burger buns today on Andrew's Treats and Eats. For today's recipe, we're going to need the following: 5 to 5.5 level cups of all-purpose flour, 2 envelopes or 4.5 teaspoons of rapid or quick rise yeast, 2 teaspoons of salt, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I like to use whole milk for the extra richness, 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of good quality butter. I like using unsalted cultured butter for this, 1/4 cup of honey, 2 large eggs. You will also want a stand mixer. You could likely mix and knead this entirely by hand, but it would be a whole lot of work. You will also need to beat 1 egg with a tablespoon of water or milk to make an egg wash for glazing the buns. I recommend waiting to do this until much closer to the time that we put them in the oven. First up, combine 2 cups of flour with the undissolved yeast and the salt in the mixing bowl of your stand mixer. Next, we're going to combine the milk, water, butter, and honey, and we are going to heat them until they are very warm, or between 120 and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. This is 49 to 55 degrees centigrade. I like to pop the liquid into the microwave for a few seconds at a time and check with my thermometer until it has hit the required temperature range. Now we're going to add the liquid to the flour mixture in the mixing bowl and beat at medium speed for 2 minutes. Make sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl occasionally during this period. Next, add the eggs and 1 cup of flour to the mixer and beat on high speed. This can be a bit of a challenge for a smaller mixer, but it is an important step in the recipe. For a smaller mixer, I would recommend not going over medium-high speed when mixing a thick mixture like this. Now for the trickiest part of the recipe, we are going to add just enough of the remaining flour to make a soft dough that is kneadable but not too dry. I swapped from the beater attachment to the dough hook for this to be a little easier on the mixer. Then I add 1/2 cup of flour at a time with the mixer on stir or very low. Depending on the humidity, the amount of flour needed to reach this stage is quite variable. But don't think that you have to use all 5.5 cups of flour. Once your dough is soft and kneadable, the hard work begins. Lightly flour a hard surface, dump out your mixing bowl, and then start kneading. We want a smooth and elastic dough, so you'll likely be looking at 8 to 10 minutes of kneading at this stage. When the dough is smooth, silky, and elastic, you can check with the window pane test here. Cover the dough and let it rest for 10 minutes. Once the dough has rested for 10 minutes, you're going to divide it into 12 equal pieces. If you are like me, then you will want to weigh the dough ball and divide that amount by 12 to get the weight of each ball. However, you do not have to be this accurate, they're just hamburger buns. Now take your divided dough and shape each piece into a smooth ball, then place the smooth balls on a baking sheet and flatten them. Once all of the balls have been put on the sheet and are flattened, cover the sheet and let it rise in a warm place until they have doubled in size. This will take about 1 hour depending on your room temperature. If your oven has a proof setting, that can help expedite the process. Nearer to the end of the rise period, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 200 degrees centigrade. While you're waiting for the dough to rise and for your oven to preheat, it is the perfect time to bash the like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell icon so that you're notified of future Andrew's Treats and Eats episodes. Once the buns have finished rising, brush the tops with egg wash, then using a sharp knife or a baking lame, make a slash across each roll. If you want, you can also sprinkle untoasted sesame seeds on your buns here. The sesame seed buns are delightful. Now bake the buns for 15 minutes or until golden brown and done. I recommend after removing them from the oven to brush on some melted butter. This will help soften the crust and add extra buttery goodness to your buns. Remove them from the sheet and cool on a wire rack. So there you have it, buttery burger buns, a reasonably simple recipe that takes around 2 hours from start to finish. The buns are tender, flavorful, and hold up very well to toppings and patties. Hopefully this video has inspired you to ditch the supermarket buns and bake your own. If you do try out this recipe, please be sure to share your results with me on Instagram or Twitter. I would love to see how they turn out for all of you. If you have any comments or suggestions for recipes you want me to try or things you'd like to see me make, then be sure to leave them in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Every like and share helps a ton with the ever-fickle YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on Andrew's Treats and Eats.